It's like 15 miles home, guys. We'll see you there. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name's Chad Naho'olema. This is the Lonestar Hawaiian Garage. Thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. We got an exciting one today, and I say that a lot, but I'm being legitimate right now because we got a part from a company that I have been dying for forever. Now, the look of this truck is going to change up completely. This is going to be the top of the line of kind of what they offer for this truck, and I cannot wait to get this thing hooked up and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about.
Now, in other news, guys, we are really focusing in on going green here on the channel.
Not really, but we're gonna be doing something with those probably in the next video. You're gonna like that one.
And in other news, wifey's car has been banished
to the driveway because it broke again. That thing drives me nuts. We need to get my wife a new car. We do. That thing has lived a good life, but it's time just to be pushed off a cliff.
All right, let's finally get cracking on this video.
All right, guys, here it is. We are finally doing it. We are finally doing this.
Boost Auto Parts tow mirrors. Again, I mentioned this is going to be the fully loaded version of their tow mirrors. I cannot be more excited to strap these things on.
Again, if you guys don't know what Boost Auto Parts is, definitely go check them out. They're a company out of West Chicago that makes some of the top of the line aftermarket tow mirrors, especially for these trucks. Some of the most popular trucks across social media are running these, and I cannot wait to get these things strapped up.
So the options we've chosen for our truck is first, the smoked LED strip. These are switchback lights. This is gonna look perfect with everything we've done so far in the truck. And then as far as the coloring goes, we really wanted to go with that grandma feel. Really take you back to the good old times of going to grandma's house and seeing everything in taupe color. Not really. These are the paintable option. When you do get these mirrors, you do have choices of color. You can get it in chrome, you can get it in gloss black, or you can get a paintable option. We are going to be color matching the truck. Lastly, we do have the high output lights here on the front of the mirrors.
So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go to the passenger side, get this all strapped up and installed, make all the mistakes over there off camera so I don't have to edit anything out, and then we'll be back to install the driver's side here in just about 3, 2, 1.
All right, you guys, I have no idea where I left off, but the passenger side is installed. If you look really closely, you can probably see just the top of it right there, but we're not going to show you yet. What we're going to do right now is show you kind of what the Boost Auto Parts packaging looks like. Now, this is really well done. Each mirror has its own essential package. Now, it comes in one box. You have both mirrors in this box, and both mirrors come in its own nice styrofoam package. Now, Boost Auto Parts, again, go check them out if you don't know who they are. Opening this up, and here we have everything we need for one mirror. Again, the other mirror that we just installed on the other side came with all of this. Any kind of accessories that you purchase, fuse taps, things like that come in here. We have this wiring harness that plugs straight into your OEM stock wiring harness, and of course the tow mirror itself. Super well packaged. Just pull this out and start working on the driver's side. Now, other things we're going to be using in this video is some of the stuff you did see from the headlights. So we have Duplicolor paint match paint, which is my GM code paint. This one's a dark Ming blue metallic. We also have some filler primer and also some clear coat. Now, I will tell you, the clear coat that comes in these like perfect match clear coat spray cans, I really didn't like. But funny enough, this shadow, again, if you haven't seen the last video with the headlamps, go check that out. We used the shadow clear coat, which is supposed to be for trim and chrome, but this actually ended up 100 times better than the other stuff. Again, still Duplicolor, just I guess a different type of formula. Also, we're gonna be using some Crayola chalk. Not really, this is my son drawing on the garage floor. All right, let's get tearing this off. What we're gonna be doing is pulling the interior door panel off. You'll see the passenger side over there. Don't look up because there's the mirror, but it's still all torn apart because I wanna make sure all the lights are working before we reinstall everything. Now I'll show you step by step how I go about pulling these door panels off.
If you do have an 07 to 13 Silverado, it should be relatively the same. Different trim levels have a little bit different aspects about it. I believe it's an LTZ. You have a little more bells and whistles, which is a little bit different of a door panel. This one is an LT model. Just missed that. LT model. So first thing I'll do is pull off these two trim pieces here. One right here, and then one right behind the door panel. Now take a screwdriver or a plastic prying tool preferred to pull these off, but you can get a little screwdriver in there, pop that out, and you'll pop this one out as well. And you'll have two 10mm bolts right behind there. So you have a 10mm screw here, and then two also right there. What you do is here at the lock, let that screwdriver, pop that outward, and then it slides right up. Next up is this trim piece here. And then hit yourself in the face with the plastic, just like that. You have a 10mm bolt here, and there at the bottom. And your window controls here should pop right up. It's useful to get this piece up. So next up, this panel should pop right out. Go along the edge, be very careful, try not to break anything again. And I'm gonna start here at the bottom, and then once all the tabs are popped out, this actually lifts upward and then comes out. So the last piece here is a door handle hinge. What I do to get it off, I actually rotate this upside down. That way it exposes the bottom of the wire. So you have this plastic piece here, go ahead and pop this out, and then you have a wire running into this bracket. Run this wire outward, and then you are free. All right, we're about there, guys. So the mirror, go ahead and pull this foam out. You have three 10mm bolts, simply run those out. Now be careful, once you remove all three, this mirror will just fall off. So go on the other side when you have the last one, when you're running the thread out, and then just simply throw the mirror away because we're upgrading. We're upgrading big time. Now be careful not to lose these and or drop them inside your door panel, because I dropped my other one on that side and it's lost forever. Now Boost Auto Parts does send you 3 new screws for their mirrors and their kit, so you don't need to reuse these, but you can save them for later, I guess. All right, and there we have our stock mirror. All right, we are now mirrorless on the truck finally, and it's finally time for some Boost Auto Parts. But first off, we gotta change this up a little bit. There we go. That's better. And last thing to do before we continue, we gotta wrap it a little bit. Boom. Let's do this. All right, so there is the mirror. And then we also have the plastic pieces that go on the outside. Now, I've opted in for the color match option, so it does come in this beautiful grandma taupey yellow. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm doing to paint match this on the truck. It is plastic. Sometimes these are hard to paint, but I'm gonna show you guys what I did to make it turn out pretty dang good. And then lastly, we have our wires and cables, and then those 3 screws I mentioned earlier that's gonna hold these on there.
Told myself to push and never stop. I've been stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock with my eyes wide, trying to get the painter in my shot.
All right, next up we have all of our fun wires. Now bear with me because I'm doing all this with one hand. We have 2 fuse taps, and then each mirror comes with a orange wire and then a yellow and gray wire. And then we also have this ground here, which we're gonna utilize. So, this is all the fun stuff. This is the wiring part. This is kind of the pain in the butt part, to be honest. But what we're gonna do first, we're gonna use this orange wire. We're gonna plug this in to the orange wire here, simple enough. Now you're gonna run this through where the stock location was. So behind this paneling, so you run that through that stock location. You got the black and gray wire you're gonna plug in here, and this one's actually gonna turn right back around and go back in. And then this plugs right into your stock OEM connector. running. This is going to be the same process there on the passenger side. The only difference is we ran the wires up and under the dash. Currently hanging right here near the brake pedal. You have two different options. You can run all the wires through the firewall to the fuse box, or you can connect them together and run one set of wires through the firewall to the fuse box. So orange to orange, white to white, gray to gray. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run the white and the orange through the firewall. Gray will ground here somewhere by the gas and brake pedal. Now the door does have these boots here. These are pretty simple to pop off. You'll rotate it until you see this little tab here, and then you get a screwdriver pushed down on the tab, and this will pop right out. Same thing on this side. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a piece of coat hanger, run the coat hanger through the boot, tape the wires to the coat hanger, and then pull them through to the inside of the cab, and then we'll do the same thing heading in to the firewall down there.
So I watch my back and keep it moving to the front, and remember that the world's yours. Do it how you want. You've been waiting here for too long. Think it's time for you to move on. Realize that there's realizing these real times to be strong.
I've been waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes. Watching
All right, now that that's fed through, just simply put the boot back on. But now the wires are inside the cab. So what I'm gonna do now, this is the driver's side, this is the passenger side. I'm gonna go ahead and connect these together. All right, so we have all these spliced up, ready to go. First thing we're gonna do is ground this system out. So we have the gray wire here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna utilize one of these grounds from the gas pedal. Now be careful, you don't want any wires hanging in this area, but I'm gonna run this one up and over this and then ground it right here. Now to ground it, Boost Auto did send this piece. So I'm gonna splice my gray wire into here, and then ground this sucker right there. Let's move on to running these through the firewall. This is gonna be the fun part. Dude, what's on your forehead? All right, so the air coming through the firewall is actually, I believe this is the hood lever. All the other wires coming through the firewall are right here, but I don't want to risk stabbing one of the wires by shoving this hanger in. So I'm gonna go through right here, and it'll be a better straight shot to the fuse box.
Waiting for my time to shine just like a diamond. When life is rough and I ain't with that funny stuff, I use it all as motivation, but it's hard to have.
All right guys, we're finally here at the fuse box. It is time to wire in for some power. We have our orange wire and our white wire. Orange is for the turn signal and or running light, and the white wire is for the high output floodlights on the front of the mirror. So first thing we're gonna do for the orange wire, I'm gonna tap this into the LT Park Fuse fuse. Now that's fuse number 27 on my truck, which is this 15 amp fuse here. What that's gonna do is draw power from my park lamps, so when those are on, that's on, simple enough. The white one, we do have some versatility when you want those high output lights to come on. I'm gonna plug this into fuse number 26 for me, which is the trailer park fuse. Fuse taps from Boost Auto, highly recommend these, much more plug and play when you have these. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna trim our wires, we're gonna splice them into the fuse taps, and then fuse taps are going into the fuses. Now when you pull the 15 amp fuses out, again, depends on where you're plugging this in. When you pull those out, make sure to put that 15 amp fuse or whatever fuse in this fuse tap on this side. So let's do that now. And yes, for those of you that are super observant, my brake fluid is low again. I don't know what's causing this, to be honest. Okay, so now that all the fun is done, I'll give you guys a quick sneak peek of what we're gonna be seeing here in a second. Super cool stuff. So, first off, we have our high output fog lamps. They all work. And then we have our switchback LEDs. Now, got the hazards going, and we have amber. So, sneak peek, we have the full reveal coming soon. But first, I have to clean up my mess. Like, seriously, this is a complete mess. So, enjoy this few seconds of footage, returning this to what it should look like. All right guys, both mirrors are in, but we still have an important step to do for this driver's side. I mentioned before I opted in for the color match option, which gives you these two taupe looking plastic pieces that will go
on the mirror here.
So you do have a few options. You can get chrome, you can get a gloss black, or like me, the color match option.
So what we're gonna do now is color match this side.
Now, if you did see the last couple videos, we did color match the inside of my headlamps, and part of that test was to see how close that Duplicolor color match was really going to be. And to be honest, they almost nailed it perfectly. So
What we're gonna do is spray paint
color match these. Now, the correct way to do this is to get them professionally done. What we're gonna do is a budget-friendly option, which is spray paint.
Steps to get this done. Very important here is to sand this down. This is a very glossy and smooth finish, which is not friendly for paint adhesion. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get some wet sanding going on. We got 400 grit sandpaper, wet or dry. We're gonna go ahead and wet sand both of these pieces, and then we're gonna go to gray primer. All right, guys, for the paint, we're gonna do a quick tack coat on here and then do a good solid first coat, let that cure, and then we'll come back and hit it with a second coat. Guys, it took a little while, but we are paint matched. It is currently curing on wifey's car. We got a coat of primer, 2 coats of base, and 2 coats of clear. It is not perfect, but it's pretty dang good coming out of a rattle can.
Oh, we're still not done, to be honest. We have about 24 hours to wait, and I want to go ahead and cut it down to make it even better. Coming out of a rattle can, you'll never get a good spray with your clear coat, but you can buff it. You can cut it down to make it
more of a glossy, reflective finish, like here on the passenger side. Now, what I utilize to do that is this Torque X buffer. Definitely recommend that buffer. I love it to death. And you get this nice reflective finish, just like the passenger side. So, before I almost die. So we're gonna let that cure completely, come back, mount it on the driver's side, cut it down, make it nice and shiny like the other side.
But we will see you guys at that point in about 5 seconds with a nice little bass drop. Here in about 3, 2, 1. Boom! Got you guys. Actually, real quick,
I realized that I did not tap the fuse into the right fuse. So what you need to do is check for the trailer backup fuse. Actually, I was in the trailer park fuse, so that high output light on that side was on constantly. You don't want that. So what I did now is hooked it to fuse number 11, which is the trailer backup fuse. So what happens is when you put it in reverse, you get the high output light here.
and back to the reveal.
Escape from my thoughts like a black hole. Can't escape from these thoughts and souls. Too many people feeling entitled. Too many people staying idle. Man, I work every day for the title, and I'ma get it, that thought is final. The way I think you could say is primal. Kill it, be killed, I'm your rival. I don't lose, no. I'ma be the one they choose, though. You gon' be the one they lose, ho. Way too busy and snooze, bro. I'ma be the one to rise up in it. Never gonna fall, I fight till I get it. Always staying tall, got pride, I'm grinning. I don't really think I'll ever find my limit. And I know that they all wanna hate me, but they see me on the climb, so they wait, see. If I make it, then they just might say, B, you been doing so good, brother K-Lee. I don't wanna hear your words, all the fake. Nah, I want my day, wanted to be patient. All the same people, never been complacent. We've been working hard, man, we on the same shit. I'm not just a sinner, I eat you for dinner. I'm not a beginner, I'll paint you a picture.
Woo! It is hot, it is bright, it is sunny. It's summertime in Texas, guys, but check out these tow mirrors. Here is the options we went with. Boost Auto Parts tow mirrors. We have these smoked switchback LEDs here in the mirror. We went with the color match option. Look how well that rattle can paint job turned out. Extremely reflective. Check that out, guys. Again, this is all out of a rattle can. Not the perfect way to do it, but is, from what I can see, a very viable option. And Duplicolor color match, that's actually pretty dang close. But look at this. Look, oh my goodness, it looks so good. To be honest, I didn't hate my old mirrors, and I knew the newer mirrors would look good. I didn't know it would look this good, especially with my wife in the driver's seat. Why do they look so much better than us driving trucks? I say us because 99% of you guys are guys. Sorry guys, they do look better than us driving trucks. Well, we are in the middle of nowhere. It's time to go back home, guys. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this modification to the truck because, again, I'm blown away with how well this truck looks and how good of quality these mirrors are from Boost Auto Parts. Now, if you enjoyed this one, remember to smash that like button below. Consider subscribing, be part of the Lonestar Hawaiian family. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, guys, get the inside scoop there before you see these drop in on YouTube. Lonestar Hawaiian on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Until next time, as always, y'all take care, aloha, and enjoy the ride. Okay, no eyes leaving me. Wait! Wait! It's like 15 miles home, guys. We'll see you there. Here we go, here we go. Rerun it. Come on. I'm getting too old for this, guys. I'm way too old for this. Oxygen would be nice.